Welcome to our review and spoiler discussion of Boots Riley's new movie, I Love Boosters, that I'd like to call the anti-Devil Wears Prada 2 movie.
Dear Letterboxd, is I Love Boosters the anti-Devil Wears Prada movie that we all need? We don't want to wear the art, we want to be the artist. Watch this instead.
And it's solely original, it's not a sequel, it's not a remake.
Yeah, so I think this is why we're gonna compare it to Devil Wears Prada 2, because here's one film that's so corporate, that has some level of optimism that is like kind of pointing us in a direction that we should change some things. But then here's another one that's super full-blown human core, that wants the best out of us, but also says, hey, something's wrong.
We're gonna compare the characters, the themes, the spoilers, and style with Devil Wears Prada 2, so this video is gonna be divided into parts. So let's get into it.
If you were to say, what is Devil Wears Prada? I think Devil Wears Prada feels like you're in a corporate meeting and somebody just like drops a really refreshing, realistic thing to you. Like you're in a corporate thing and he's like, how long is this freaking meeting? And you're like, oh, that felt so good. You know, like, yeah, finally someone said something, you know?
Yeah.
I Love Boosters felt like someone grabbed you in your head and started like, shit. It's like, yeah! And then started dancing in front of you after that. Like,
it's like a live action cartoon with Rainbow Road, Skittles, queer, art, everything mixed together.
So for the beginning of the film for I Love Boosters, it was a little bit jarring for me to watch. But the one thing that really made me push forward was the main character, Corvette. Corvette was a great example of what a modern American is feeling at this moment. We have a lot of rent to pay, we have bills, we have overdue notices. There's a lot of expectations to fulfill your dreams that you want, but it feels like it's kind of impossible. I feel like this is a kind of a weird trend that's happening in films where we're highlighting the late stage capitalism through the eyes.
Maximalism.
Yeah, through maximalism too, yeah.
Through surreal maximalism.
And what's so interesting, we have a film that is complete maximalism, and we have Devil Wears Prada 2, which is just complete minimalism. And there's something interesting.
Has no distinct characteristics, like besides the notable cast and recurring characters, Devil Wears Prada, you can't pinpoint any trademarks for that film, versus this one is endless trademarks. Like, there's endless characteristics that you could dissect. You can literally pause every frame of this movie and probably notice something new. Versus Devil Wears Prada is the most flat Nissan looking commercial movie I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I think this one was trying to say, what is your place in a reality where the billionaire is always up against you? And so we have Andy from Devil Wears Prada, who is this hopeless journalist. She lost her job. She's trying to find her place in this world where she's getting replaced by AI. She's getting replaced by decisions where billionaires are trying to save some money. She got fired from her job. She was hopeless, couldn't find a replacement. It seems like America has gotten to the point where now even modern media is highlighting that we're hopeless, jobless, we can't find a way out.
I mean, even Boots Riley struggled to make this movie, so there you go.
But the one thing that Andy had over Corvette was she had a structured system around her.
White privilege.
She had the white privilege too. She had the luxury of having a background in the fashion industry, versus Corvette had nothing of that. She only had friends who were in the similar position as her. She had the class struggle that is always talked about but never shown in cinema.
Yes.
And so that's why I feel like there's a problem, right? How is Devil Wears Prada, a film that's making nearly $1 billion, highlighting this issue of struggle, but it's not really a struggle?
Yes, because the main character is a cookie cutter corporate dream worker to have, who complies to all the rules, is a cuck to Miranda even 20 years later, and she's not doing anything rebellious or groundbreaking. Everything she does is safe, per se. I know it still is challenging the system that we have in the film, which is AI and Vogue, you know, straying away from actually writing articles and making reels and everything. But it's not really direct with that criticism, and we still have this character who complies to capitalism and uses capitalism to solve issues.
Yeah.
I just don't really care about her. She's not a distinct character. She's the most forgettable character in that movie. Right. Versus Keke Palmer is a very standout lead, and even though what she does I don't necessarily relate to, I can totally understand her loneliness and the fact that she's a creative and an artist who is struggling to survive in a world that has no space for people like her, especially because she's marginalized. That's like another layer of a limit, a block.
Yeah. Corvette is a bystander watching and seeing everybody live out their dreams.
And steal her dreams too, and be directly stealing her dreams.
And we have Andy, who's able to make the billionaire's dream come true.
And then also have people from her past just hit her up and say, we want you back. Like, that's not realistic. Unfortunately, the other one's gonna make more money because it is less daring and safe. I thought it was so cool to see a movie that is so direct in addressing current issues. Because me and Goat always complain about this. We go to see a film and we're just like, this is such nothing sauce. It's saying nothing. It's doing nothing creatively. It's just a passive experience that you forget about within the next hour after you ate, right? Versus this movie is so modern that it even has that song in it, the Makeda, Makeda, like it is such a collage of our current experiences, like we just talked about. And also stylistically, you know, it really has a dopamine-centric style that is prevalent in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and is also just really prevalent in any packaging you see nowadays with hipsters. So even that, I would say, is really refreshing. I love that it's so direct about the fact that these rich people literally steal from marginalized communities and sell them their own ideas back. But here's the catch. No one can afford those ideas. It's also so cool that Corvette is a shoplifter who is also a designer.
Yeah.
So she respects the art, and she initially respects the billionaire behind it, but she slowly sees all unravels in this film. Versus in Devil Wears Prada, Miranda hasn't changed at all. We do see her have a vulnerable moment before her promotion in the movie.
What's really funny about this film is that they're trying to say corporations in America do not give a rat's ass about you. They try to, but they really don't. And if they did, we would be in a completely different direction. And I guess that's why we're in this direction of dopamine cinema, right? We have dopamine style. I think these are dopamine cinema styles. Adding on to what you said is that these directors might only have one film left to make. And so they're throwing literally everything that they can because they know how volatile the cinema business is right now. They might be making one film and then they might disappear and maybe get lucky to make a Star Wars film if they're healthy enough. So, but the thing I really love about these films is that they fictionalize our reality, but they make them feel like they are cartoons, but in reality, they are kind of cartoonish.
I mean,
right?
look at Trump.
Like you have Jeff Bezos buying Vogue
for his wifey.
Like that literally sounds like a cartoon. And when you see it in Devil Wears Prada, you're like, that's reality.
And something else I'd like to point out when you were bringing up the billionaires is that what I also enjoy about I Love Boosters is that Christy Smith, played by Demi Moore, stays unapologetically terrible. You know, she's this innovator that clearly comes from wealth and connections and also has a say in other parts of the industry. And she's remains like that the whole movie. And we never ever empathize with her because we cannot ever understand her and connect with her. Like, look at where her office is. I just like that this movie was much more direct in showing that versus in Devil Wears Prada 2, the message was to conform and to allow yourself to be a cog to survive, versus this movie was so anti-cog. So now we're gonna get into the stylistic differences, because Devil Wears Prada, for being a film about fashion, has no notable fashion pieces, is extremely colorless, lifeless, flat, looks like a commercial straight to streaming. The cinematography is lackluster. There's a lot of drone shots, a lot of cheesy montages that say nothing about anything. So I want to address that and talk about how I Love Boosters is the complete opposite. And I'm not queer, but I've obviously been a follower of queer culture and I love it. And this movie had effortless queer energy. Whether it was the style, the cast, the dialogue, it was clearly made to appeal to Gen Z and queer youth. And it's not trying super hard though. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like it's Boots Riley doing his thing that just happens to align with Gen Z, right? And it's so funny to me because the Devil Wears Prada 2 had to have a Gaga cameo to try to like get the gays on their side. Yeah. And then it also had this really stupid song that's probably gonna be playing at all of H&M and Zara this summer. It sounded like a knockoff of a Drag Race finale song. And it's really funny too, because it just reminded me of Vanessa Hudgens on Drag Race when she was a judge and she was saying, I'm so into voguing. Like, it feels like straight people trying to be like, I'm one of you guys, slay. Like, I love pride.
I'm so into voguing right now.
We get so much out of each character just by observing their fashion. And I wanna give a shout out to the fashion designer because she did Everything Everywhere All at Once. Her name is Shirley Kurata. This has so many more notable outfits than Devil Wears Prada 2. Like this, I can totally see this being the Halloween costume trio inspo for a lot of girlies who are friend groups of threes.
And what's really nice is that it's not just for white girls.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it really had like a live action cartoon feeling. I kept thinking about the Powerpuff Girls. For me, each character represented Powerpuff Powerpuff Girl. Like Mariah was Bubbles, Sade was Buttercup, I think, because she's very logical, and Corvette was Blossom, because she's the leader.
Yeah, definitely. The outfits were so beautiful, but then I think it connected so well with the music as well. I feel like this movie was perfectly matched. Like the music matched so well with the graphic design, matched so well also with the poster design, matched well with the costume design. Like everything just matched perfectly. And so nothing really felt out of place versus like Devil Wears Prada. Like I'm expecting the spectacle of fashion design. What the first one was kind of like, this is inspiration the same way Sex and the City was. But we didn't really get that with the second one.
No, and I mean, I love Dua Lipa, but girl, that song that the movie opened with Andy was walking around, it was like a Dua song. It was really bad. But I think my one critique with the music is that sometimes it was too loud and I couldn't comprehend the dialogue. And I think this movie's dialogue is so layered and there's just so much happening at the same time, and there's also a lot of jokes because it's a comedy, so I kind of wish it was lower at times.
Yeah, but it did what was nice is that the music was made for the film.
Yes.
Which was also nice.
Yes.
Like I get really tired of when because of Quentin Tarantino, he created that thing. It's like, put the needle drop. Play that Lady Gaga. Yeah, it's like come on, we don't need a needle drop right now. I will agree with you. There was a lot of moments from like, I don't really have no clue where I was.
Definitely could be watched twice or three times, honestly.
And not because of like out of enjoyment, just more like, I think the first time is just so overwhelming. Second time you rewatch, you're like, okay, I kind of like understand it now. So let's now get into the spoilers. You ready?
I love boosters.
I love boosters.
And also the devil loves boosters. The devil steals from boosters.
Oh.
And makes designs for Prada with it.
Does the devil want to sleep with a booster? So the devil might love a booster, and I think this was kind of represented in the whole concept of what is that actor's name? What is it?
Lakeith Stanfield.
Like, look, I'm so glad we're in spoilers because I'm sure we all agree. Like, whenever he was on screen and like everything was shaking.
That was so funny. And I saw a Letterboxd review that said that wasn't even edited. That's just what happens when you stare at Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah.
That's funny. I really would love to ask Boots Riley this, but I haven't seen Kamikaze Girls, but I feel like so much of the humor in this movie and style exudes Japanese anime / hyper films that exist.
Yeah.
And especially the color palette too, but I think that humor is very anime-like.
And I think this one moment that we had where it was the kitty eating scene, I don't even know if you can say pussy on YouTube. What was that like for you?
It was very Greg Araki for me because I feel like Greg Araki just has moments like that out of nowhere and you just have to roll with it. But I feel like Boots Riley threw me in there quicker. And this movie, I loved watching it. I really respect everything it does, but it's not my artistic style. As a person, I'm much more into gothic, fairy tale, Beauty and the Beast. I'm an English major. I don't like yellow. I don't even like the color yellow. But that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. I still think it's really good visually. I'm glad that he had that scene early because it kind of loosened the log up my ass because a part of me is just kind of like, there's too much yellow here. It's hard for me to turn that part of my brain off because it's not my style. I can't stand those Fish Girl tuna cans, Fish Wife, whatever, or those oil that everyone buys. So but then when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is that kind of movie. This has a full-blown, soul-sucking, pussy-eating monster in it. Yeah. And that scene went on for 5 minutes. It's not like it was just...
Yeah, it went for 4 or 5 minutes, definitely.
Yeah, so after that, I'm like, boy...
And they kept quoting it and everything.
It's just... do whatever the hell you want. I'm here for that, I guess.
It's nice to see an American film use a lot of multiple art forms, and I think that was also done in I think some Tim Burton films.
Yes.
And it was refreshing to see
Cat in the Hat. But this is kind of gonna be me swaying topics, but I kind of feel like eating out scenes were a taboo thing. I've noticed there's a lot more scenes in American cinema. Sinners had maybe 3 scenes like that with vampires, involved. Annette with Adam Driver, I don't think anyone watched that, but he literally sings in a musical as that happens. You couldn't at this point rank what is the most
We're gonna rank it, yeah.
What's the most kooky eating out scene in the 2020s?
If you want to see that happen, If you want us to rank the eating out scenes, please let us know. We'll happily do that.
Yeah, because we're masters at that.
Yes, it's refreshing to see it, but then also sometimes I hope it doesn't get too far, where it's like, it's just...
I mean, this took it to the farthest it could go, so there's no going farther than this.
I guess
scene,
so. This
honestly.
is the limit. So maybe this might be the number one. I don't know.
Speaking of the kookiness and appreciating the kookiness, I've never seen a character's backstory be told through a video being watched on a character's phone, because we learned about Christy Smith through a documentary about her, and I actually looked at the cast. That's why I didn't want to, this isn't spoilers. The narrator of that moment, it's like this European voice talking about how Christy was this distinguished scientist prodigy and then married or dated a Chanel designer. It's Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Viggo?
that's him. Viggo had a little cameo.
Little king. Yeah, I love Viggo.
And also what's so cool too is when we're introduced to Jianhu, the Chinese girlie from the factory, she also goes into her backstory by a literal screen coming out of her forehead, like with a curtain. Okay. And then it says a movie by Jean-Luc Godard. And I think I don't know how much of shade that is to Jean-Luc Godard, or if it's just like a little homage, but I think it's shade, because Jean-Luc Godard is like the most bourgeoisie, trying to be down to earth director ever.
Yeah.
So the most criticism I'm seeing on Letterboxd is that this film's ending is too cheesy, it wraps itself around too neatly, and it's too optimistic or whatever. But first of all, I love to see it because I need that, and everyone needs that in our lives right now. We need optimism, and it's realistic optimism, in my opinion. Honestly, when she first shot the machine at the crowd, the one that elevates everything, I thought that it would have gotten even more cartoonish, because when we see the machine elevate things, it makes it all uncanny. Like the police car became this futuristic machine.
Yeah.
The fact that Boots Riley chose to show that elevating that situation was just making this protest and this message spread across the world, I was like, oh, that's actually really realistic and grounded. I thought it might become like everyone merges into this monster and they start destroying
substance.
They start destroying the world. Like, I thought that maybe the machine would glitch and create more of a problem. But now knowing that the machine's a metaphor for communism, that would make no sense, because I didn't know that. But yeah, so I thought that was actually really nice to see. And I'm not too familiar with the most iconic protests in the world, but when we went to Germany, we saw footage from the Berlin Wall collapse and people celebrating. And we've also seen footage from this other huge protest during the Soviet era. Everyone held hands.
Yeah,
that has actually
happened. China, it's
happened.
Germany, and everything like that. They're all trying to protest.
That has happened, and it actually brought changes. And a lot of the reason why we have jobs as women, we can open bank accounts, Black people can sit in the same bus as white people, is because of those actions. And to bring up Devil Wears Prada 2 again, Devil Wears Prada 2 is unrealistic. So you're telling me the solution to Jeff Bezos' metaphor buying Vogue is to have this other billionaire buy Vogue instead, and then say, oh, Miranda and Andy, you get full creative freedom, do what you want, girl boss feminism, like we're all slaves to corporate, but we're still slaying, babe, like
Vogue.
Yeah.
But the thing that is interesting is that we have that aspect in the film, but here we have in reality, this daughter of the Ellisons that bought TikTok owns Annapurna Interactive and is kind of bankrolling this film.
Yes.
So we are entering into, okay, maybe is it unrealistic for Devil Wears Prada 2 for that to happen? And I don't know. There are some people out there that might have a father that disagree with them, right? And that is the whole point of Devil Wears Prada 2. I disagree with what you're doing, cartoonish Jeff Bezos' character.
Shout out to Elon's daughter.
I'm going to support this. And so that is the thing that I like and value with Devil Wears Prada 2. There's some good in it, but I like the I Love Boosters optimism as well. It's okay to have optimism, guys. It's okay to have narration too.
Shout out to Will Poulter. He was the gay that ran the Macy's like the army. Yeah. I wish he was in the movie more.
I feel like it was a really wasted potential for them not to like blast him with a reverse thing, or like you know, like when they deconstructed, there's a moment where like they deconstructed one of the girls and they saw
I could have seen endless scenes of them deconstructing and things.
But he was the one person they should have deconstructed, and I just wanted to see. Like,
he'd be like a pride flag and like some corporate symbol of something, like a piggy bank. I don't know. What is in Oakland's air though? Oakland gave us Zendaya, gave us Boots Riley, and gave us Ryan Coogler. I love Oakland. I've
And then
never
also
been
gave
there.
our new ice skating performing queen. I don't remember her name.
You're right. Oh my god.
She's from Oakland too.
Alicia Liu.
Yeah, she's Oakland. Is
Girl, I'm going to Oakland.
it must be because there's a community. Do you guys connect the points? You guys get creative people who care about humans. And then where are they from? They're from communities. Ding, 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 ding. No wonder everyone who's born from New York and LA is like out of touch.
I also love that this movie isn't just talking about the direct community that is clearly being affected by the industry taking advantage of them. No, Boots takes this across the world, and it even goes to show the Chinese workers that are literally getting cancer from working in these factories and how much that's affecting their livelihood. And I just love that collaboration between the Velvet Gang and Jianhu joining them.
Yeah.
That was so cool that her mom's cancer got reversed because they undid everything.
What a smart way to use a portal / time traveling, or I don't even know, like time reversing machine. Like smart, really smart way to use it.
Yeah, because I feel like fast fashion has been an issue for a long time. I've never seen a fictional film, address those issues and make a character from that world a part of the main story. I mean, and it's just, I don't know, it's really cool to live in an era where we're seeing Asian characters and actors and actresses get to be these cool characters, because, I mean, Hollywood is notorious for back then for putting them only in stereotypical roles as nerds or as people that don't get girls.
Yeah.
So we're like really in a renaissance of both Black art cinema and also Asian cinema.
But it's not enough.
It's not enough, I agree.
And in my opinion, it's not enough. I think there should be way more films. I think there should be way more things. We shouldn't wait every 3 years for like a film to finally come out. Like after Crazy Rich Asians, yeah, you might get Beef, you might get other films like that. But it should be a little bit more daring. It should be a little bit more.
They're the biggest population in the world. What the heck?
Yeah, we should be seeing our whole entire world. What happened to the Italians? What happened to the French people? Why didn't you guys make it anything? Like anything?
I mean,
like,
maybe they are.
Oh, no. They're not.
They're in cons. They're
in cons, just waving up for the red carpets, and that's the most of it. And so that's the thing we need to see more and more and more. And here's a director, Boots Riley, who's giving you it all. Also,
the Skinwalkers, I really did not expect that. And the Candace Owens joke. So the audacity of that being mentioned and it becoming this gimmick in the movie, I was stunned. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect that. And even the crying black woman thing was like, oh, he knows his shit. Like,
yeah, and I think that was the funny thing that it was highlighting, that a lot of our news is set up by the crisis actors, and also it's set up by the corporations, which now we're going back to the Speed Racer, but that's what it is. And so if you wonder why somebody who is creative, who is passionate, that might be like Corvette, they'll never get a platform. They won't. But what's beautiful about the internet, she could try hard enough and she would create a platform, right? She could create something, and people can follow it.
Corvette's entire like internal struggle was the fact that she felt alone in her cause and her vision, but then the ending was her, you know, saying no to any temptations, which was the beast, the demon, and also recognizing that she has a support system who will be with her regardless of what happens. And I think that's the main message of this movie, besides like capitalism and corporations and these people that steal and pillage, who have been doing this for freaking centuries, by the way. I mean, what is colonialism? It's also a reminder that those two girls can be enough for you to make your dreams come true, or like give you enough motivation. Because like if you have that direct support and audience, what's stopping us from all doing that with each other and supporting each other's arts and dreams? In conclusion, cast Keke Palmer in every single movie.
In conclusion too, Keke Palmer finally has a voice. Like I feel like this is the one director who like kind of brought
He DM'd her.
Oh, what do you mean?
He cast her by just DMing her on social media and saying, I want you in my movie.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Because he saw her in Nope.
This is one of the few times I've seen in Keke Palmer where she's like utilized to her strongest degree.
I agree.
Right? She has humanity. She has everything that you need for a character to be real. And I haven't seen that in any of Keke Palmer.
She delivers every line. Like, she is the most charismatic person ever, in my opinion. Also, Naomi Ackie, too. I've seen her in Sorry Baby. She was in Mickey 17. She's underrated.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Very underrated. So, Boots Riley, you did a great job. You made great characters. You made great stories. I want to watch this movie again. Would you watch this?
Yes.
Please make more movies like this.
But he only will if you guys go and watch it. So, go and watch it. Watch Backrooms. your pants, and then in order to feel better, go and watch this movie.
But where are they gonna watch it with their pants full of shit?
Take a diaper with you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay then. See y'all for the next one.
No! My favorite one is It's a Slave Hymn.
That's a slave hymn.
Because you know it's true.
She had that girl's back up until it was time to leave everything behind. Because you know what I mean? Just think about that. She had her back up until it was time to stand up to the man.